Australia is famous for many things. People think of sunny beaches, surfing, koalas, and kangaroos. It seems like a perfect place to live. You might imagine a relaxed life, good pay, and beautiful nature. It looks like a dream country with famous coastlines, drawing many visitors each year. Everyone knows about its wonderful animals and natural beauty. But there is more to Australia than this happy picture. Many people do not know the real difficulties of living there. These problems are not about dangerous snakes or jellyfish, as you might think. The challenges are different, often hidden beneath the surface of its postcard-perfect image. We will look at what makes living there hard. One big challenge is how far away Australia is. Look at a map. Australia is very, very far from almost every other country. It is the most isolated continent in the world. Do you like to travel to other countries? Do you have family in America or Europe? Seeing them can be very hard. It takes many hours to fly and costs a lot of money. This long distance can make people feel very alone. Living in Australia can make you feel cut off. This is not just if your family lives far away. The country is so remote that even the news feels different. What happens in the rest of the world can seem very far away. People in Australia sometimes feel they do not know what is happening in other countries. This feeling of being isolated can affect people's daily lives and their minds.
This book will explore these hidden truths about Australia. We will look at how far it is from other places and how expensive it is to travel. We will also see how daily life, strict rules, and the culture make living there unique. It is a beautiful country, but it has challenges that touch people's minds and their wallets. 2. Far away from home. Australia is a very big land, but it is also very far from almost everywhere else. This makes it hard to travel. Imagine you want to visit family in another country or see a friend in Europe. It will take a long time and cost a lot of money. For example, flying from Sydney, Australia's biggest airport, to London takes at least 22 hours. This flight usually costs more than $1,000. If you want to go to Istanbul in Turkey, it's about 21 hours, costing around $800. Even a flight to Dubai, which has a direct option, is 14 hours and can cost over $1,200. To fly to Los Angeles in the United States, it takes nearly 14 hours one way. So a return trip means you spend almost 2 full days just on an airplane. Because Australia is so far away, people can feel alone. It feels like a geographical bubble. The news that Australians see often does not talk much about other countries. Many people in Australia feel they don't know what is happening in the rest of the world. This is because local news focuses mostly on things happening in Australia.
People might check the news less often here. Only about half of Australians check the news every day. This is less than in many other countries. This feeling of being cut off is also because a few companies own most of the news. For example, Rupert Murdoch is a very important person in media. In Australia, 4 big companies own most of the newspapers, about 84% of them. This means there are not many different voices in the news. People worry this can mean less truth in reporting and less news about local towns. It can also mean the news shows what the company owners want. Working with people in other countries can also be hard. If you work with a company in the United States or Europe, the time difference is very big. You might send an email at the end of your day, but they will not get it until their next morning. Then you wait another full day for their reply. Sometimes people have to wake up in the middle of the night for phone calls, like at 2 a.m. in Sydney for a meeting with London. Even traveling inside Australia is not always easy. The country is huge, but big cities are very far from each other. For example, Perth is the most alone city in the world. It is more than 1,300 miles from the next big city. It is closer to Indonesia than to Australia's east coast. Driving from Adelaide to Melbourne can take 8 hours. Flying between cities like Sydney and Perth can cost $300 to $500.
So, even for a quick trip inside Australia, it can be expensive and take a lot of time. This distance, both inside and outside the country, makes living in Australia feel very far away from home. 3. The weather is extreme. Many people imagine Australia as a place with endless sun and warm weather, perfect for beaches. But the reality is often different. Australia's weather can be very extreme, not always the sunny paradise many believe. In winter, the southern areas of Australia, like Melbourne and Canberra, get very cold. Temperatures often drop to below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. People need warm clothes and blankets. Inside homes, it can still be cold. Many Australian houses are not built well for winter. They often lack good insulation, letting cold air in and warm out. Heaters can be inefficient, and some homes have no heating at all. This means homes can be freezing indoors during winter. The northern part of Australia, however, is extremely hot and humid. In cities like Darwin, temperatures stay high, around 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit all year. Humidity often reaches 70 to 90% in summer. This heat can be dangerous. Authorities consider temperatures above 95 degrees Fahrenheit as risky. In 2019, Darwin had 45 days hotter than this, including an 11-day heat wave. Experts think these hot days will become more frequent. Even where the weather is milder, the sun in Australia is incredibly strong.
Australia has the highest rate of melanoma, a serious skin cancer, in the world. This is not just about forgetting sunscreen. The sun's rays are different here. While the ozone layer over Australia can be a little thinner, this is not the main reason. The southern part of the Earth, including Australia, receives more UV radiation for several reasons. First, there is less air pollution and dust to block the sun. This is due to fewer industrial areas and smaller land masses. Second, during Australia's summer, December to February, Earth is significantly closer to the sun. So when Australia faces the sun, it is also about 3 million miles closer. Most Australians have light skin, often from European backgrounds. Their skin is not adapted to such strong sunlight. Many also enjoy an outdoor lifestyle. This combination means that about 2 out of every 3 Australians will get skin cancer before they turn 70. Australians sometimes call skin cancer Australia's national cancer because it is so common. So Australia's beautiful outdoors come with the challenge of extreme weather and a powerful sun. 4. Strict rules. Australia is often seen as a place with a relaxed way of life. Many people imagine few rules and a very laid-back attitude. This image includes a barefoot culture, where people walk without shoes in public places, even in cities. A New York Times writer noted this custom, and in some schools, like one in Perth, students can choose not to wear shoes.
This shows a very casual side of Australian life. However, Australia also has many strict rules, creating interesting contrasts. While some parts of life seem very relaxed, others are tightly controlled by government laws and regulations. This strong control over daily activities makes Australia seem like a nanny state to some. It creates a confusing picture, a country that values freedom but also has very specific rules for many situations. One area with strict rules is driving. Speed limits across Australia are often set quite low. The maximum speed is about 68 miles per hour, 110 kilometers per hour on highways. These limits are strictly enforced. Police use speed traps and many cameras. Cameras are found everywhere to ensure drivers follow the rules. In Victoria, drivers can go just under 2 miles per hour, 3.2 kilometers per hour, over the limit without a fine. This leaves very little room for error, and even a slight increase in speed can lead to a penalty. Rules for alcohol and nightlife are also very strict, even though Australia has a lively drinking culture. People cannot drink in most public places. Businesses selling alcohol, like bars and clubs, need specific licenses. These set clear times for sales. In most states, bars stop selling alcohol after 2 a.m. Some drinks, called rapid intoxication drinks, like shots, cannot be served after midnight. Queensland has even stricter rules, banning certain strong pre-mixed drinks after midnight.
Cocktails are usually allowed, as they are not meant for quick drinking. To create safer places, some areas are called safe night precincts. Here, bars can serve alcohol until 3 a.m. For certain events, special approval allows service until 5 a.m., up to 6 times a year. These precincts use networked ID scanners. They share customer data between venues to help manage behavior. Police can also give police banning notices. If someone is offensive, disruptive, or violent, they can be banned from any venue in that state for at least 1 month. An extended banning notice lasts for 3 months. This means if banned in Queensland, you cannot go to any bar or club in the entire state. While these rules aim for safer nightlife, some critics argue banning notices are applied too easily. They worry this leads to a subdued nightlife. This contrast between a country known for partying and its very restrictive laws is a puzzling aspect of Australian life. 5. Houses are expensive. Australia is known for its strong economy. The minimum wage is good, and many people earn solid salaries. For almost 29 years, until 2020, Australia did not have a recession. This means the country's economy was growing for a long time. However, life in Australia has a big problem. Houses are very expensive. In big cities like Sydney and Melbourne, house prices have gone up a lot. This problem started around the year 2001.
At that time, the Reserve Bank of Australia lowered interest rates. This was to help stop a recession like the one the United States had. The government also gave money to people buying their first homes. Investors found it easy to buy many properties too. More people moved to Australia, but not enough new houses were built. All these things together made house prices rise very quickly. Around the year 2000, an average Australian home cost about 3 to 4 times an average person's yearly pay. Today, a house costs 8 to 9 times the average Australian salary. Even though people earn more money now, house prices have grown much faster than wages. For example, in April 2025, the average house price in the country was about 892,000 Australian dollars. This is about 576,000 US dollars. In capital cities, this average price can be over 1 million Australian dollars, or 645,000 US dollars. This makes it very hard for young people to buy a home. In just the last 5 years, house values have gone up by almost 40%. But houses are not the only expensive thing. Australia has the 13th highest cost of living in the world. Its prices are just below those in the United States. Many people feel there is a cost of living crisis.
From mid-2022 to late 2024, families had less money to spend after paying for their needs. This is called disposable income. Their living standards went down by about 6.7%. One surprising high cost is dental care. Australia has a public health care system where anyone can go to a public hospital and get free care. But for dentists, it is different. Australia spends a lot on dental care, ranking 6th among rich countries. In 2021 and 2022, $11.1 billion were spent on dental care. However, most of this money was paid by patients themselves. In 2020, people paid 60% of dental costs from their own pockets. Dr. Wissam Ataya, a dentist in Melbourne, explains why it is so costly. He says that running a dental clinic needs a lot of money. Also, dentists must spend a lot of money to keep learning new things in their field and stay up to date. Daily life problems. Daily life in Australia comes with specific frustrations. One major problem for many people is the internet. In 2024, Australia ranked 82nd in the world for its internet speeds. This placed it behind many developing countries. Even though mobile internet is faster, home internet connections are often slow. Internet plans are also expensive.
An average broadband plan costs $84 each month, which is much more than the international average of about $48.60. Several reasons cause these issues. Australia is very far from other parts of the world, making it hard to connect to global internet cables. Also, the country has huge empty areas, which makes building good internet lines difficult. Another reason is that only 3 main companies provide internet service. They control most of the market and have little competition. This means they do not have to improve service or lower prices. This slow and costly internet affects people in big cities, not just remote areas. Another daily frustration comes from early closing times for many businesses. Australians enjoy coffee, and their coffee shops are known to be good. However, many cafes close their doors by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. A few stay open until 5 p.m., but rarely later. Retail stores also close early, usually by 5 p.m. This is good for employees, giving them a better work-life balance. But it is hard for people who work normal hours and need to shop or run errands. They often have to rush after work or wait for the one late-night shopping day each week when stores stay open until 9 p.m. Getting around Australia creates another set of daily challenges. Due to its large size, Australia depends heavily on cars. Many people need a car to travel within their cities and suburbs.
The average Australian household owns almost 2 vehicles. While some cities like Melbourne have good public transport, such as the world's largest tram network, it is often not enough for everyone. A report showed that many people in major cities do not have easy access to public transport. Easy access means a stop is within a 10-minute walk, and service runs often during busy hours. Because of this, many Australians must buy a car. Owning a car is very expensive. In 2023, it could cost over $15,000 a year. This includes insurance, registration, maintenance, and gas. These daily problems, from slow internet to the need for expensive cars, add up for many people in Australia. 7. People and culture. Australians have a special way of looking at society and people. It is called tall poppy syndrome. This idea is very common in Australia and New Zealand. It means that if someone becomes very successful or stands out too much, other people might criticize them. They might try to bring that person down. This makes it hard for people to be very ambitious without facing judgment. Imagine a field of poppies. If one poppy grows much taller than the others, it might get cut down. This is similar to how people are sometimes treated. For example, a study found that student athletes who did very well in sports sometimes faced bullying from their peers. People didn't like them for being too good or too visible.
This happens because Australian culture often values equality and being humble. People do not like it when others boast or act like they are better than everyone else. There is an idea that everyone should be similar and no one should show off their achievements too much. This creates a society where being like everyone else is often more important than being special or exceptional. This social mindset can be linked to other things we have talked about. Australia is a very isolated country. Being far from the rest of the world might make people focus more on their local communities. They might expect everyone to fit in and follow the same unspoken rules. If your world feels smaller, fitting in becomes very important. Also, the way news and information are shared in Australia can play a part. With a few big companies controlling much of the media, there might be fewer different ideas shown. This can make people value common thoughts and ways of living. When everyone sees similar things and hears similar messages, it can strengthen the idea that standing out is not good. Some people think this syndrome stops too much self-love or showing off. For example, while other countries like the United States have seen more people acting like they are the best, Australia has not. This might even be linked to the slow internet speeds, which make it harder to use social media a lot, where people often show off their lives. So this cultural trait helps keep people grounded.
It means Australians often prefer quiet success and shared values over individual fame. Dangerous nature. Many people think Australia's biggest dangers are its snakes and spiders, but these creatures cause very few deaths. The real dangers come from the powerful natural world. The Australian outback is a vast, dry place. If you go there, you need to be ready. Carry extra fuel and water. Cell phones often do not work, so a satellite phone is a good idea. Gas stations are far apart. Temperatures can become extremely hot, sometimes reaching over 130 degrees Fahrenheit, 54 Celsius. The sand can get so hot it burns shoes. Every year, about 40 people die in the outback from extreme heat, car crashes with animals, or not having enough water. The ocean also has hidden dangers. Riptides are strong currents that pull swimmers out to sea. Around 26 people die from these riptides each year, even with good lifeguards. Many Australians have been caught in a rip current at some time. Besides these, Australia faces other natural disasters. There are big floods, cyclones, and bushfires. In 2019 and 2020, terrible bushfires burned huge areas, destroyed thousands of homes, and killed many people. Floods have also caused a lot of damage and deaths in recent years. These extreme events seem to be happening more often. So, Australia is a land of great beauty with amazing nature, but it also presents tough challenges.
Life there can be hard because of the long distances, high costs, and strong weather. It is a beautiful country, but it asks a lot from those who live there. What do you think is the biggest challenge of living in Australia?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.